private, let's say if you're in elementary school, the private elementary schools amongst the other educational institutions. Customer analysis. In that case, your customers will be the parents who can potentially enroll the children in the private school. And competitor analysis, where you compare your school to other schools to see who's offering what, what's the fee structure, and what's the advantage you're offering. So something like that. Okay, sales and marketing strategy. How and where will you sell? How and where will you advertise? Promotion plans, cost of marketing. So simple stuff, nothing complicated about it. If somebody wants to sell Coca-Cola, can somebody tell me what all places they can sell Coca-Cola? Simple question. Okay, let me get it. Where can you sell Coca-Cola?
I don't know, grocery stores.
Grocery stores. Anywhere else?
Restaurants?
Restaurants. Anywhere else?
You can do it in like vending machines or stands and stuff.
Vending machines.
Sports games.
Sports games. Yes. Let's see. Did she get a chance? What's your idea?
Maybe like some parties that might have like Coca-Cola on sale.
Parties? Okay. Sure. You need to say a huge gathering, like a game maybe, a baseball game. That's a good place to sell Coca-Cola. A lot of people come there. Football game. You can sell Coca-Cola there, right? So different places where you can sell Coca-Cola. So you have to figure out your product, whatever that product is, where will you sell them, right? And how will you advertise? How will people know that Coca-Cola is available in the grocery stores? Yes.
People often like to have giant billboards on. They have right by a shop that maybe has it, or some of the Coca-Cola might be on advertisements on the TV.
Sure. So that was one example. And somebody asked me, if I'm just building a simple app, why do I need to go to a VC for money? And that's where some of your money is going to go. Even if you build a nice app, how are you going to sell your app? For example, these days it's very common to use your phone as a torch, right? Now you came up with an app which will convert your phone, which let's say did not have an inbuilt phone equals torch sort of a structure like iPhone has. You build an app which converted your phone into a torch. Somebody goes into the app store and puts torch, right? Which app are they going to buy, right? Sometimes it's the one which appears on the top. Sometimes they will Google it online and say, best torch app, right? And they'll say, oh, okay, there are a few apps which somebody is recommending on a blog, right? So maybe these apps, right? So there is a way you have to differentiate yourself that, hey, buy my app, not the 5 other apps which exist in the market. And you need money for that because you might have to do what is called a Google AdWords campaign, which means you're trying to give money to Google for putting your ad in the section of sponsored ads. Somebody does torch for the phone, and your app comes on the top under sponsored ads. That's one example, right? Or you could pay a company for optimizing your web page. You might have a website as well where you talk about what your app does. And many people, when they search for, hey, a torch app, your website should be structured in such a way that the non-sponsored search results should come at the top, right? So you need money for that. So you have to come up with a plan, and this goes into your business plan or your pitch deck, the kind of pitch deck I showed you. There should be a way of telling what your sales and marketing strategy is and what the cost involved is. Maybe it's very expensive, and that's why you're going to the VC for the money. Operations plans. So what's the operational plan? In case of a real physical product, you think about, where is my warehouse going to be? Where am I going to store all my supplies? And how am I going to do the supply chain? Which means somebody orders your physical product, how it reaches the customer and stuff like that. So that's sort of an example of operational plan. For something like an app, you have to start thinking about, okay, where will I host the app? Will it be, of course, an iOS store, which is an Apple store, or an Android store? And all my, sales and marketing people who will be working, where will they be stationed? How will they meet the potential clients? And how will they, run the business in essence? So the operations plans means how you're going to run the day-to-day activities of your business, how much money it's going to need, and where you're going to run it, and stuff like that. So that also goes into your business plan. Development plan. So development plan is, now let's say you start building your app, and you have to understand, or app or your product or whatever it is, that there are development costs. You need engineers to build it if you cannot build it yourself. You need people to contribute to the development process. So you need money for that. So that's your development plan. What's your timeline? The first prototype, 2 months. The real finished product, 1 year. What's your timeline? So you have to cover that also in your business plan. Again, as I'm telling, business plan, not everyone does a detailed business plan. It's not necessary to have a business plan for a company if you can come up with numbers on the fly. If a VC asks you on the fly, how much cost could it take you to, build this product faster by 6 months, right? You need to have an answer in your head. Okay, maybe if I can hire 5 more engineers, I can build it faster, which means I'll need whatever amount of money more. So if you can hold all that information in your head, you can just have a simple, 3, 4, or maybe 10 slide PPT, and you're good to go. But if you wanted to do a detailed analysis so that you're prepared, if you want to grow this company more, business plan is the way to go, because that way you have all the numbers cranked out, all the ideas cranked out, and it's in writing, which you can share with your partners and your founders and co-founders and stuff like that. And just a few more things real quick. The management team. Remember I showed you the picture on the FlowTab's pitch deck? They had 5 people. They had somebody from sales, somebody from marketing, an engineer and stuff like that. So you have to come up with your management team as well. And VCs look at that a lot, because if they sort of know this guy has some potential, sometimes they sort of invest in the people themselves. They think that this team is a really good team, and let's invest in this team. Okay, we are out of time. So 2 more slides, and then I'll wrap it up. Key risks and exit strategy. You have to, as somebody asked me what is SWOT is, SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. You need to come up with what are the risks involved in your plan. You have to cover your risks in the plan, and how are you going to mitigate it? Mitigate is reduce the probability of the risky stuff happening. Do you have any plans to mitigate that? And the exit strategy. So the FlowTab, who can tell me what the FlowTab's exit strategy was? Those who saw the slides. Okay, let's see.
To get acquired by Blue or Wallet or other businesses.
Right, to get acquired. So one of them was to get acquired. So their strategy was to get acquired. So either you sell your business, get acquired, or you go for an IPO if your company is doing really, really well. IPO is initial public offering. That means from that point on, you become a public company. That means your company, the people own your company because they have bought your stocks. I'm not going to get into the details of these concepts because it might bore you. But if you want to do a little bit of your own research to figure out more about what an IPO is, and you might hear from your parents that, oh, this company is going IPO, and Facebook went IPO, Alibaba went IPO. Living in the Silicon Valley, you will keep hearing stuff like that. That means from private company, where they were not obliged to disclose their income, their sales and stuff like that, to a public company where all the data is in the open now. Because the company owned by the public needs to know all the details, and they have to advertise all their financials in front of the public. And of course, you might have a plan if you want to In 5 years you don't make any money. If you don't want to escalate your commitment beyond 5 years, you're going to shut down after 5 years, for example. All right, so financial plan. How much revenue you're going to make? What's the cost? So there is cost associated with the product itself. The operational costs, like the wages of the employees, the office electricity bill and stuff like that. And other costs like interest payments. If you're taking a loan from a bank for your business, for example, you have to pay banks some interest because they're loaning you money, right? So all those costs go into the cost category, and then the net profit or the income is revenue minus cost. Simple math. If you start going into accounting details, there are a lot of stuff which gets involved, but we're going to keep it simple for this class. It's just income equals revenue minus cost. All right, so that's all I wanted to say about the business plan. And after every class, I feel that 1 hour is not enough, but that's what the structure of this program is. So I wanted to do more stuff, but we do not have time. It's 4:10 already. And the idea was that you guys would present some of your ideas in front of the class. You're going to present the entrepreneurs and his traits, your favorite entrepreneur and his traits. You were going to present your group's idea. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to wrap it up here, but I'm going to give time to people who do not have teammates to form teams. And people who already have teammates and they have a group